Good morning, everyone. My name's Doc, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to cover one of the basics of trading, as far as I'm concerned, which is price action and range-bound trading. The majority of the time that assets trade, they trade within ranges. Breakouts are far and few, and breakouts are nothing more than the markets repricing assets, right? So the majority of the time, markets move something like this, right? They're moving up and down, they're volatile. Eventually, you get a breakout, you find buyers on that breakout, and then you form a new range, right? Wherever that may be, right? And then again, when you're in this range, you may have a breakdown, you find more sellers, you go back to the previous range, or you find another breakout and you go up again, right? So this is just how markets trade. They range the majority of the time, and a range should be treated as a range until proven otherwise, right? So that brings us to this video. I find a very nice short swing, potential short swing setup on TWT Trust Wallet token. And I'm going to go over how I'm sort of planning and looking at this coin in this video, as well as I'm going to give an example on a coin which is Chiliz, which set up very similarly earlier this year, and I actually got to short that one from range high to range low. So I will give that example a little bit later in the video, but it'll be timestamped below if you want to jump into that for any reason. Feel free to do that if you want to. So getting into this video, right? So like I explained, in Trust Wallet, it's been doing something similar, right? So it's been ranging for a very long time on a macro scale. If we go to the weekly chart, you can see that it's done nothing more than range. It's kind of been a bullish sort of range, as each low has been sort of a higher low. And then we got this blast off, and this blast off or expansion was on the back of the FTX collapse, as you may or may not know, and that put in sort of this bullish narrative for self-custody, and Trust Wallet is a self-custody token. I don't know why they have a token, but nevertheless, it got a little bit of this bullish price action because of it, right? So for the last month, it's been consolidating sort of in that expansive range. This second week of expansion, price has neither taken the low of this wick nor the high. So it's kind of been trading in this range, right, for about 3-4 weeks, right? So let's just mark out these levels. This high right here, and this low right here, and you can see clearly we've neither taken the highs nor the lows. So like I said, we treat it like a range until proven otherwise. So moving down to the daily, once again, you guys can see big expansion. We have not taken out the November 14th high or the November 14th low. We've sort of traded near the lows 3 times. What's interesting here is this sort of second wick was taken out by this third one, right? So we call that an SFP. You've taken the liquidity from this level right here. And if you don't understand what I mean by liquidity, I have a few videos explaining liquidity theory. Nothing more than stop losses placed underneath significant areas of interest. So if these stops get run and you have sort of this bullish reaction to it, that's kind of a signal that we're going to revert in the other direction. As you guys can see, we did do that. Once we took out this low, buyers showed up, long wick this way, and now we've sort of reverted to the highs. So now getting into the 4-hour, let's draw in our mid-range and just prove, drawing in the mid-range always sort of confirms to me whether or not a price is trading as if it was a range or not, and putting it on, you guys should see right away, right there, boom. So running from this first high, you can see that price reacted to the mid-range, tried to hold it as support, ultimately sold all the way off to this this demand cluster right here. So this demand or this consolidation led to this high. We found support at that demand level, traded back into mid-range, put in a deviation, put in multiple deviations above this level, back into the lows, so on and so forth. Resistance, consolidation, flipped it to support. Once you flip a resistance level to support, you're obviously going to go to the next level, which was this all-time high, right? So what you're kind of seeing right now is a lot of consolidation, and what seemingly, as of this candle, is a rejection of the highs, right? And what my idea is, or what the general idea is just like this right here. When you take a significant level and you show a significant reaction in the opposite direction, that's basically telling you, you know, a what's the word I'm looking for? High probability trade of reversal. And this is nothing more than the SFP reversal trade, right? And it's pretty common amongst price action traders. If that's you, you've probably heard of it. If not, it's nothing more than I've explained already. This is a swing high. If price were to take out this high and trade back underneath it, you call that a swing failure pattern. You're swing failing a high, right? So what we're looking for in this setup is a swing fail of this high, right? So as price is consolidating right here, if you guys are aware of funding rates are basically sort of an indication of how the market is positioned. A neutral funding rate means there's a healthy amount of both buyers and sellers, nice equilibrium. Negative funding means there's more sellers. Positive funding means there's more buyers, or at least positioned that way on the futures, right? In futures trading. So right now on Bybit, which is, as far as I know, the only crypto exchange offering futures trades for TWT, the funding is very negative, meaning a lot of people are building short positions right here. A lot of people are already kind of anticipating this range high to hold, and they're building short positions right here. So what I would love to see is not only for them to get squeezed, but also for this high to get taken. So if they're positioning short right here, you know, it may seem like it's very close by, but it's actually, you know, a 6% move, 5-6% move above this wick from current levels. So if people are shorting 2.58, 2.59, a 6% move upwards is going to put them pretty heavily underwater. Now imagine these people are using standard crypto leverage 5x, right? So if you put $1,000 position and it squeezes 6% up, you're down $300. You're down 30% of your position. Now that may be okay risk tolerance for some people, but other people, especially the reputation that Bybit has is for being dumb money, right? So they're already, you know, positioning a little early. They may or may not win, but for me and my system and my level of risk tolerance, I would like to see them squeezed. You know, some people are going to panic and then be like, oh, I'm wrong, I messed up or whatever like that. They can't handle the drawdown. They think that they can. Once it actually occurs and price puts in a candle like this, they may say, oh crap, I was wrong. Oh, it's breaking out, whatever. They may capitulate their positions. And then from there, I would like to see price move back inside. So a bearish SFP of this level, basically saying that sellers are showing up in this area. They're defending the line. They're bringing price back in. That's my signal to short. My target is going to be obviously mid-range, like we talked about, very strong gravitational level. Prices reacted to it multiple times on both sides. So mid-range would be a take profit level. The second level for me to take profit is this consolidation. This is more important for me. I would like to close the majority of my position here, maybe a minor amount, maybe 1/3 here, and then a much bigger portion right here, right? The reason for this is there's a lot of buildup, a lot of consolidation in this area. A lot of demand was showing up after this low was taken, right? So this may be an area of a lot of chop, right? And you're already looking at this from a risk reward perspective. You've gained a big bulk of the move already. You know, you may be able to trade it back to the lows if you have the patience for it, but ultimately I think that should suffice as far as a trade goes, right? So now this brings me to a little bit of a historical example. If you stayed with me so far, thank you so much. So Chiliz, right? Let's get rid of this. I think, yep, okay. So Chiliz, a little bit earlier this year, was acting the exact same way, right? I noticed this, and I used the similar skills that I already talked about just now. Technique. To short Chiliz right here. So starting, let's do a little replay so we can see where we are, right? So let's do this, right? So this is kind of where we're at right now for TWT, right? And just to recap, there's a long period of consolidation, there's a breakout, there's a high put in, you found support at this little bit of demand that showed up along the way to the high, right? And if we pull up TWT, let's just do the same thing and look at this, right? So long period of consolidation, long period of consolidation, a big breakout. A high was put in, we found support, right, at this area of demand, right, and consolidated, ultimately ran back towards the high. So Chiliz now, right, now that we have that in mind, Chiliz, similar kind of idea here. Let's put the replay back on, right in there. Oops, did I get that right? Okay, right in there, cool. Okay, so Chiliz, once again, range expansion, right? Found support in this area, started running back towards the highs, found an area of indecision at this highs, kind of like TWT is putting in right now. And then ultimately, this is where the idea came. I was like looking at this, I was like, okay, I'm going to craft it the exact same way. I want to look for a deviation of the range highs. So I'm going to mark that out right here. This is my high. This is my low, right? Now we can put in a mid-range. I believe that's the low that I used back then, and we'll see how this lines up. Yep, you guys can see how nicely this lines up as mid-range once again. Range high, range low. Mid-range was respected, right? So now let's start playing this, right? Okay, so now price starts moving back towards the highs. Takes out the high, right? Look at this candle. Now this, to a lot of people, is going to look very bullish. You know, you've broken the highs, you're breaking out, you put in 2 strong 4-hourly candles, you closed above it, you put in another 4-hourly candle above it, right? So if you're shorting right here, if you're predicting like the Bybit guys are predicting right now, if you're shorting in this area right here, you're going to be pretty underwater, and you're going to be nervous, and you're going to say, oh, my plan was to DCA or build this position anyways. But I'm telling you, the emotions of being underwater and seeing price like this is pretty damaging, and you may end up capitulating right here, and you're going to say, oh, I'll get back in, but then you never do, and you end up losing money even though you're correct on the idea, which is why you want this to play out, right? So let's continue watching. Okay, so it makes a second push, right? So this may be, to some people, right? So again, this may be looking like a SR retest, right? This was resistance right here, resistance a couple times, a big breakthrough. This may be looking to some people like, oh, we're just coming back, we're testing this as support, and we're gonna go again, right? So, you know, it's very difficult in this situation. If you're already short and you're already positioned short, you're looking at these things, you may capitulate, right? So what's the smarter thing? You just keep waiting. You keep waiting, and let's go back to the replay. Eventually, you get a test of the highs like that, right? And this is exactly where I shorted. And if you guys give me a minute, I may be able to pull it up for you. Chiliz doc XBT. I should have had this prepared, man. I should have had this prepared. Oh, man. Oh, right here. Okay. So here we go. 269, whatever, 26.9, right? And this is the charts, these are the setup that I put, these are the tweets that I put out. September 22nd, my conviction is high, right there, and you saw this is where I tweeted it. That's where I got in, whatever. Okay, just to prove that I shorted it, that I'm not full of shit, right? Okay, so same thing going on, back to the trade, TWT, right? That's what my idea is coming from. Now, this right here, a lot of people may think this is the high, and they may be FOMOing at this point and being like, oh crap, I'm missing it. And if it rolls over like this, that's going to entice even more FOMO. You know, more people are going to say I'm missing it. They may short this entire thing thinking about the same trade. Oh, I'm going to take it to mid-range. I'm going to take it to this consolidation. And then price moves up and squeezes them all out. And that's kind of the move that I'm looking for. I want them, these early position shorters, to get squeezed out and then price to drop back in, and then we take it to mid-range, and then we take it to this consolidation, and then we take it to these lows. And that's it. That's it for this video. These are simple liquidity-based, range-bound trading concepts that I look for, and hopefully this plays out. And if it doesn't and price rolls over without me, well, so what? On to the next one. You know, these are just ideas to build trades around, and I'm looking forward to shorting this if it SFPs the high. That's going to make it for this video. That's going to be the end of it. If you guys enjoyed this content and you want to come hang out with me, come do so in Discord. The link is in the description below, completely free. Come check it out. Also on Twitter, I post trades all the time, including this one. I tweeted about this one earlier. I'm just doing a video. after the fact because I thought it's a really, really nice setup. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys there. Give me a shout if you guys do join. I will talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.